Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Together we chant Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verses 1 to 10.
Arjuna uvacha prakritim purusham chaiva kshetram kshetrajñameva cha etadveditumicchami jnanam jneyam cha keshava Shri Bhagavanuvacha idam shariram kaunteya kshetramityabhidhiyate etadyo vetti tam prahuhu kshetrajña iti tadvidaha kshetrajñam chapi mam vidhi sarvakshetreshu bharata kshetra jnanam yattajnanam matam mama tatshetram yaccha yadrikcha yadvikari yatascha yat sacha yo yat prabhavascha tatsamasena me shrinu ऋषिभिर्बहुधा गीतम् छन्दोभिर्विविधैः पृथक् ब्रह्मसूत्रपदैश्चैव हेतुमद्भिर्विनिश्चितैः महाभूतान्यहङ्कारः बुद्धिरव्यक्तमेव च इन्द्रियाणि दशैकं च पञ्चचेन्द्रियगोचराः इच्छा द्वेषः सुखं दुःखं सङ्घातश्चेतना धृतिः एतत् क्षेत्रं समासेन सविकारमुदाहृतम् अमानित्वमदम्भित्वम् अहिंसा क्षान्तिरार्जवम् आचार्योपासनं शौचं स्थैर्यमात्मविनिग्रहः इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम् अनहङ्कार एव च जन्म मृत्युजरा व्याधिः दुःखदोषाकलमषु पुरुषानुदर्शनम् असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः पुत्रदारगृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु
Amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, kshanti, arjavam, acharyopasanam, shaucham, stairyam, atma, vinigraha. We did these beautiful qualities of a person of knowledge. More than even learning these qualities should be the comprehension that the qualities are knowledge. That is the most important part of this. People think if I know a lot of stuff, I'm a knowledgeable person. That is such an incorrect concept. According to the Lord, not my opinion. I'm just reading to you what the Lord said. No, where did he say that? Wait, he's saying it. He say, etat jnanam iti proktam. Etat jnanam iti proktam. He's giving these qualities, and at the end of it, he will say, etat, this is knowledge. So has it been said. Is it PhD, which is knowledge? Is it learning Vedanta treatise or Bhagavad Gita, which is knowledge? Is it what? What is knowledge? According to the Lord, not according to me, according to the Lord. Hey, I am only a messenger. He is saying knowledge is amanitvam, adambhitvam. No mana, no pretentiousness, ahimsa, never wishing harm to anyone else, just never. It cannot enter your system. No matter what that person has done to you, you are incapable of wishing harm to that person. That doesn't mean you may not physically harm the person. Please be very clear about it. But you don't wish him. You want his welfare, always want his welfare. If you're not able to distinguish between this, you will either have terrorists running our society or cruelty in prisons. This is what is going to happen. So if you cannot understand that I do not wish you harm, that means I allow all the nonsense in the world to go on, then your prisons will be empty and your people will be dead. If you cannot understand that though I have to take strong action, I genuinely want your welfare, if you can't understand that, you will have these horrible prisons that violate basic human rights, horrible punishments meted out to people for it's like not no rhyme or reason, but way beyond what they have done. Your crime and your punishment have to be balanced. So ahimsa, the beautiful quality of being able to balance this. What is the crime? What is the punishment? And the punishment is given for the protection of people, including the person who's doing it. Protection of the people, not to harm. I mean, even in very simple things, you have a fight with your husband or your wife, or child, or brother, or sister, whatever okay, and you can be so cruel for what? That they didn't do some silly thing in the house. You're not following the principle of ahimsa. Wish no harm. Shanti. Shanti comes when we recognize that people are what they are, not what I would like them to be. Arjavam is my capacity to live up to what I think is right. All the time, I want other people to live up to what I think is right. I will decide for you what is right and wrong. My right is to decide for myself what is right and wrong. never to decide for another person. So Arjavam is having decided that this is right, I'm going to do it. Acharya Upasana, the service of the preceptor. You cannot gain unless you learn to give. It is not possible. Therefore, we give with our full heart so that we gain with our full intellect. In other words, when you live a life of service, when you have love and service in your heart, the mind is calm, and whatever the intellect is, it is capable of being that. Shaucham, dirt. Either we don't recognize dirt at all, or we recognize it only in the external environment. One of the saddest things of Indian life is the state our temples are in. I mean, it's really, you have to be a very high degree bhakta to walk through all that chikhal and still feel devotion. It's tough. So, how can you have a temple which is not clean? You know, in the US, one good thing over there is when they make a temple, they at least maintain that. So in California, there's this lovely thing. I think it's a Swaminarayan temple. Swaminarayan temples are usually very, very good. So they have one in Chino Hills. So beautiful and it's so clean. You can walk everywhere barefoot, no problem. But in our temple, it's a little frightening only. How do people do this? I think Modi ji has issued a diktat that all the temples should be kept clean now. Thank God. At least people will go to the temple. Maybe one day the temple will go back to what it used to be. You know what the temples used to be? They used to be the universities. There was no division between the divine and the secular. Now we have to divide it, and we have to be very careful. Americans used to say, you can't even say Merry Christmas. Why can't you say Merry Christmas? No, you have to say Happy Holidays. Mera sir nahi khao. Why can't you say somebody else has a festival? Why can't you say Merry Christmas? We say no, we say everything. Happy Diwali, Happy Eid, Happy Mahavir Jayanti, everything we will say. What is the problem? No, you can't say happy. All those who are exposed to American life will know that in America, 90% is about what you can't say. You can't say this and you can't say that. So, our business in life. What? You remember where we were?
Cleanliness.
Huh?
Cleanliness.
Very good. Cleanliness. It is not about external cleanliness. Though some people don't understand that also. So let us start from there. It's about internal cleanliness. Because in the Western world, all externally they keep it very clean. But internally, पता नहीं यहाँ क्या हो रहा है. In India, we don't have that problem because externally ठीक नहीं है. It's a very funny thing that 75 years after independence, one of our prime ministers says, please guys, maintain some cleanliness. Now, how many years it took us for the head of nation to say so? Thank God. Somebody came along and said it. So now everybody is going to keep things clean because our prime minister says so, and we all have tremendous faith in him, and we are going to do it. What happened internally? Shaucham. It's you are as clean inside as you are outside. Mind is calm, intellect is clear, vasanas are reducing. That is the goal of Shaucham. Sthairyam, steadfastness. Why do you require steadfastness? Because this whole process is
Long.
the long journey. Very, very often in life, we are very dissatisfied with our spiritual journey. We think, oh, I'm not good enough. Or So many times. I mean, I'm always dealing with this. People will come, I've been studying for so long, but then this X thing happened, and now I'm feeling so bad, and I'm so angry, or I'm so hurt, or I'm so unhappy. What they don't get is that for them to come to me and say that I am so unhappy now, what did it take? Some very dramatic event has happened in their lives. This same person used to come 10 years ago with the most trivial incidents and then didn't say anything for years and years and years. And now is back again saying that, oh, this thing has happened. Something very dramatic. Obviously, I can't share all the details, but the thing is, what people don't get is it's a long, long journey. So, first you get over the spin pricks, then you get over the little cuts and bruises, then you get over some nice beating up. It'll go in stages. It's not going to be so easy. And there's no shyness between us. How many of us have come and spoken about how, something used to bother me so much and now I don't even notice it anymore. But this whole thing takes long. It's not going to happen overnight. And that's one of the reasons why nobody takes to our path. Bhavna is here with me. She was telling me that in her college, they tried to organize something for policy, governance and policy and all. And they had to run behind all the students and drag them into the class. Yesterday, she was telling me Amitabh Bachchan came. That auditorium where they could not get 10 people was jam packed full. That's life, isn't it? Whatever's instant will find many buyers. Whatever is long term will find very few buyers. And therefore, one of the qualities of a person who takes on something that is long term will have to be
Steadfastness.
Consistent.
steadfastness, stherium. Do you have the stherium? Can you stay with this long enough? I mean, imagine if we are trying to build a university, we have to stay with it a long, long time. And university is nothing compared to self development. That's a long, 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 long time. So it take a long time. Relax, enjoy the journey, have fun. And we do that, right? Every time we meet, we have lots of fun. I mean, when we don't meet, we have fun, but enjoy it. Enjoy every bit of this journey. You will go up, you will go down, things will happen, all this will go on. We are just going to have a good time. Because what we're trying to do is a long journey. And you have to be a marathoner, not a sprinter. You know the difference between a sprint and a marathon? In a sprint, you put all, like that, these motivation speakers, they come and they say, and they charge you up, and for the next 5 days, you will do everything. That's called a sprint. 5 days, you have done lots of stuff. But a marathon is you conserve your energy because you have a long way to go. Long, long way to go. So, people will go for the self-development. They give you, they charge you up so much. When I listen to them, even I feel very charged. You must do it. You must. No. Correct. You must do. And after 10 minutes, all charge has gone away. They won't help. You have to be committed to that journey. And through the ups and downs, you're going to be with it. Sometimes your mind will cooperate. Sometimes your mind will not cooperate. Sometimes your situations cooperate. Sometimes your situations don't cooperate. You are going to keep with it. Stherium is the natural quality of a person who
Has knowledge.
knows what he's doing. You cannot have arjavam without stherium. It can't be done. If you know what you're doing, you have committed to doing whatever you're doing. Stherium is the automatic result. And to do that, you will have to not do certain things. So when you say no to certain things because you're doing some other things, this is called Atma Vinigraha. It is not a question of whether those other things are good or bad. I mean, it's a terrible example, but it sort of drives the home. Don't misunderstand the example. But suppose I'm trying to rob a bank. And as I'm trying to rob a bank, okay, one child comes running to me and says, "Oh, please, please come with me. I have to, please buy me ice cream. I want to have an ice cream. I haven't had an ice cream for very long." And and you can afford giving the child the ice cream. That child is very cute. You'd love to give the child the ice cream, but you're in the middle of robbing the bank. Will you do it? That is called Atma Vinigraha. No matter how good the action is, I'm not doing it because I'm doing something else. Now, please don't understand this as going to rob banks, okay? I don't know what you'll get when I speak. It's very frightening. But it's a good example to show that no matter how much it's touching your heart, you can't do it at that moment. It is not an example to show that go rob a bank, okay? Careful. I have to also be careful because people listen online and then they say all sorts of things. You should hear the comments we hear. Bharat is very active on this because the moment somebody says something, we will go and delete that comment. It's so frightened that I will have to read this rubbish that comes. A curated life, yes, you can say that. A curated life. You would love to help, but you know at this moment can't be done. Like, there are so many people suffering in the world today in so many different ways. Somebody's suffering from penury and starvation, somebody's suffering because of bad relationships, somebody's so many sufferings, different types of sufferings in the world. We get a choice. Do you want to continue working for Vedanta University, or do you want to go and attend to all the suffering? And it may break your heart that you can't go and attend to the suffering, but you will still do what according to you is right. Atma Vinigraha. There are wars going on. You believe that wars, people are dying, no rhyme or reason. They have food, but they can't get it. I mean, the trucks are standing outside waiting to send the food in. Can't believe. Would you not like to help? And yet, can you? You have to say, I think I know a solution. I am executing that solution. And in the meanwhile, some of these things I will not be able to. But I will help it. So, that capacity to decide what is to be done and executed and say no to everything else. That's called Atma Vinigraha. Very nice, many nice people I meet, When my occupational hazard is that I only meet nice people. And they tell me that all the good work that they're doing, and they do amazing work. They tell me how many crores they spent on doing that various things. I'm at a loss of what to say. Appreciate the fact that you're spending so many crores doing such good deeds. But do you realize the impermanence of those things when you have the capacity to do something of a permanent nature? So, Atma Vinigraha. You have so much control on yourself that you will not perform good acts because you know you're focused on solving a problem from the root. So, Atma Vinigraha, normally people will give a list. I don't drink alcohol, I don't eat meat, I don't eat. It's all nonsense things. Eat if you want and drink if you want, but do something useful in this world. Before leaving, surely we should pay our debt here, right? We have incurred debts here. Let us pay them. Verse 9. इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम् अनहङ्कार एव च Janma mrityu jara vyadhihi dukha doshanudarshanam indriyartheshu vairagyam anahamkara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhihi dukha doshanudarshanam. Indriyartheshu vairagyam. Towards the indriyas, vairagyam. Rag. Rag means desire, likes. Vairagya means without rag, without likes, without desire, without interest. So, dispassion towards sense objects. Indriya artheshu vairagyam. Indriya artha is the objects of the senses. Anahamkara, without ahamkara. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadihi, dukkha, doshanu, darshanam. Janma, birth, mrityu, death, jara, old age, vyadi, disease, dukkha, dosha. All of these have a dosha. What is that dosha? It gives you dukkha. So it's a dukkha dosha. Anudarshanam. Anudarshanam means to be able to see this. So to see this very well. You have seen that birth and death and old age and ailments, they all cause dukkha. These are what life is composed of. So basically, it's talking about the dukkha of life. Which part of it is not happy? Which part of it is not sad? Which part is happy? Dukkha dosha anudarshanam. Darshanam. Dukkha dosha anudarshanam. Anudarshanam. You are able to clearly see this. Not when it's happening, but when it's not happening. Suppose there's a young girl. She's very pretty. Or a young boy. He's very attractive, very charming, very rich, and all the girls are after him. And boy or girl, whichever. Now they are in their 20s. They are so sure that they have so much time and that people are always, everybody's after me, so I'm in no rush sort of attitude. And then the years pass, and this pride that they have in their youth, they find that that youth starts diminishing. The thing about it is, when you are handsome or when you are beautiful, when you are a 20-year-old, very attractive, charming person, can you recognize that your pride is over something that is not even going to last? Can you see it then? Can you see the dukkha of being handsome or beautiful? Imagine, suppose you're a very beautiful person. There was this very nice movie. I don't know if you all saw it, Fedora. Have you all seen Fedora? I was there when I was a young girl. This whole story of Fedora is that here is this lady who is a star, who's magnificent, and she is now approaching 100, but she's still that magnificent. Now, unfortunately, actually, I should see that movie today. Unfortunately, for her to look magnificent at 100, you know who had to make that sacrifice? Her daughter. Because, I tell you, that's the mystery of that movie. So one investigator, how, she's so old, how can she look like this? You know what she had done? She had hidden herself, and her daughter, who looked just like her, had replaced her. So that poor daughter's life was totally wrecked, right? She didn't have a life because she was now Fedora. So she, to maintain that image of her own beauty, obviously she's grown old now, she cannot look like she was, but she loved the concept of Fedora and she sacrificed her daughter to it. This is what we will do. When you are looking magnificent, do you understand the dukkha of it? When you are looking magnificent, what is the dukkha of it?
That it will go.
That
That,
will not last.
that what you are going to feel when it goes. You don't get that. You just don't get it. When you have, when you have a son, how delighted, how, you know, because, I'm close to people and the child was about to be born and that the couple wanted us to be there. And so we were there. And, he was very particular that the child has to be given good wishes, whatever, at the point of birth, because then only the child. So I'm going to have to go there and be there until the lady gave birth. And she gave birth, and he came out of the room with the baby in the hand and was there. And I could see on his face, like he thought, this is it. This is culmination of life. He's got his son. And how he loved his son and beautiful child, of course, grew up very well. No problem about that. But at that time, when you're so happy with that child, do you recognize the dukkha dosha which is inherent in that? It's only a question of time. This child will one day do what the parent doesn't want the child to do, and then there's your dukkha ready for you. Fortunately, so far, so good. But that doesn't mean anything. Dukkha dosha anudarshan. We're able to see that. We're able to see the dukkha dosha. I remember when I was a small child, my brother is much older than me, so he got married. And then he and his wife were very happy and they were living happily. And I was a very young child at that time. And so for some reason, discussion came of my marriage. So I said, I told my bhabhi that I don't want to get married. Okay, well, why don't you get married? I said, it's quite simple. Either you get a husband who you like. I mean, she's madly in love with her husband. So either you get a husband who you like, or you don't, right? Yeah. Well, why will you not get a husband you like? Of course, you get a husband. Who's going to make you mad? Okay. These are our options. Either I'll get someone I like, or it won't work out. Either it'll work or it won't work. Okay. She's newly married. Unnecessarily, I'm going and hassling her. So then I told her, so either it's going to be happy or it's not going to be happy. Okay, fine. So why would it be happy then? People just take off. But I think logic you figure out. Either it's happy or it's not happy, correct? So then I said, let's say it's very happy. Let's say it's perfect. So of course it will be perfect. Why wouldn't it? But let's say it's perfect. Perfect. Then remember that there are only two options left. Either you die or you bear the sorrow of the other person dying. So either you die early or the other person has to bear. One of the two, you have a 50% chance of outliving your partner and therefore be miserable. So what is the use of this marriage? So she got very upset with me. She was newly married and nobody, newly married girl wants to hear all that. And I'm too young to understand this is not what you tell people. So it work out as a very good conversation. But to me, I don't understand. I didn't understand then, and sometimes I'm too unemotional to understand now. What is not to understand? If you get married, and you have a happy marriage, there are only two possibilities. Either the person outlives you or you outlive the person. So if you die, then you're dead. What are you going to enjoy? And if you outlive the person, then you're miserable because your partner is gone. So why are you so excited? Nobody likes all these theories. They say all you people are very depressing. It's not depressing, it's a fact of life. The capacity to see the inherent flaw in the whole picture. It is an inherent flaw. It's not just with your partner, with anybody. Either you have very loving parents or you don't have very loving parents. If you have very loving parents, then either you pass away and give them a lot of sorrow, or they pass away and give you a lot of sorrow. Only two things that can happen. Dukha dosha anudarshan. You're able to see that. Now that doesn't mean you leave your parents, you don't get married, you don't have children, you say, Arey Baba, sab dukhi dukh hai. No, you understand it and you function with it with a understand. You don't function with it what shall I say, in blindly. And that's true of every object in this world, isn't it? You buy a flower vase. Now somebody gives you a flower. How many options do you have with reference to the flower vase? Either you hate the flower vase or you love it, right? If you hate it, it's giving you no pleasure. If you love it, you have two options. Either it stays with you or it goes away. If it goes away, it will hurt you. If it stays with you, after some time, you will not know it exists. It will be no cause of pleasure for you. So what are you talking? Which part of this are you finding happy? No part anywhere is happy. If you want to be happy, you have to make it happy. And how do you make it happy? By being a jnani, for heaven's sake. That's what he's saying. You don't expect to buy a vase and be happy. No, you become a jnani, then you buy a vase, then you'll be happy. Anything plus jnanihood. We should call the university jnanihood, no? Anything plus jnanihood. Happy. Anything minus jnanihood. Unhappy. Simple. Shyamji is not here. Yesterday he was asking me mathematic formula. There's a maths formula for him. Anything plus jnanihood, happy life. Anything plus non-jnanihood, miserable one. How simple is that? Because when you become a jnani, you become objective. And an objective person is capable of just being happy all the time. Not because they can't feel joy and sorrow, but because joy and sorrow cannot topple them. Suppose we have a very good book launch and we all excited. Oh, yeah, what fun, what fun. I'll give you gossip about the book launch after class, okay? Yeah, Momita.
So if we are excited, then that means that we don't understand the impermanence of it.
No, why? You should be excited, but you have to be excited about everything. Or don't be excited about anything. One or the two you must choose.
No, like supposing I'm excited about the happiness I feel from my philanthropic activities. You gave that example. So if I'm excited, then that means I'm not able to see the impermanence of that, the happiness stemming from that.
That's not a yardstick. If you do philanthropic activities properly, as most people do, I mean, most people we know do, obviously the result will be people will be very, very happy. It is a cause and effect relationship. How are we going to stop that? So being excited or happy or enjoying it is all good stuff. But when it's done without knowledge, you're expecting continuance where none is.
Okay. So my question was basically my display of excitement is not a yardstick.
No,
of
neither
whether-
your feeling of excitement.
Okay. So
Neither,
even if I feel excited, that doesn't mean that I don't recognize it. Only I know whether I recognize the impermanence of it or not.
I mean, you can argue the other way, right? I know it's impermanent, so I'm enjoying it right now.
Right. Okay.
I mean, you can argue either way. The thing is, you have to, you can't fool yourself.
Hmm.
You have to know when you're rising that fall is the natural corollary of rising. You know how they say, be nice to people on your way up, you'll meet them again on your way down. So I don't want to mention names because these are all very famous people, but we have a family friend. I have to, we have a family friend who doesn't speak to us because they have, how shall I say it, suddenly, I don't know how to put this without, because I know you all are all trying to figure out what this is. The point is, they don't, I mean, not that they don't speak to us, but they don't hang out with us so much because they are on a very steep rise, like really steep rise. Like, I'm hesitant to give you any details because you will know instantly if I tell you something. If I tell you anything at all, you know instantly who I'm talking about because they are on a very steep rise. Now, the thing is, these are family friends over generations. Nothing to do personally with us, but over generations, parents and things like that. And other than the polite whatever. Now, this is a very interesting phenomenon that you think that now ये हमारे level के लोग नहीं हैं. Not recognizing that this thing that you have placed, this is an impermanent thing. You are not talking to people who, you don't talk to people who have stood with you for like maybe 5 6 decades. I mean, over the generations, because you have now found this whatever thing you have found. It's interesting. It's very interesting because at some stage this will not be there if you believe in the continuance of it. It's not going to be there. And so, who would you have now become friends with? Those people who became friends with you because it was there. That means at some point, you will now become very disillusioned. You'll say, look, all my friends were so mean to me, they left me as soon as all my money went. But you were the one who chose this, right? You chose to be with people who are choosing to be with you because of the steep rise. So when the steep rise is not there, they will not be there. That's all these stars and people who did well in life. I know somebody who was from the film industry. Again, not mentioning names, he was like a very well respected person of the industry, and all their typical sham ko drinks, wings, or murgi, machi, whatever these people do. And then everybody will come, they will all drink, they will all eat their stuff, they're all drunk at the end of the night, and then it'll repeat again at some interval. Then what happens? Then your money is gone, that stardom is gone, and then nobody's coming anymore. Because where is your murgi and where is your machi and where is your whatever drinks? How are you going to afford it? So dukkha dosha anudarshana. So does that mean don't enjoy? No, please enjoy. Why should you not enjoy? You should enjoy every bit. Enjoy every bit of the rise, but not so much that you forget the ground realities of things. And of course, you have to enjoy. What? It'd be very sad, right? Suppose we have a very good, Mamita is in charge of the publications department, and she had her first book launch yesterday, and it all went off very nice. And then suppose she tells us, "Oh, there is a book launch," and went okay. Then so depressing to hear only. Like, yeah, what fun! But then, yeah, what fun for everything? Why only for that? A good job is done. Great. A good book has been, all the production is very good and everything. I'm talking of the production because quality of content now, poor thing, she cannot do much about, but production and all went off well, everything went off well. So why not be happy? Why not enjoy the fact? Why not dance and sing? It's not time to dance and sing. Let's dance and sing. But you know perfectly well that your identity, your security, your nothing is tied up with this.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, Komal?
Yeah, ma'am, like you were explaining that there is nothing wrong in being excited, happy, expressing. Then there is nothing wrong in feeling sad, crying, and if things doesn't happen as per you wanted, and then something opposite of it, then if you cry and if feeling sad and expressing that, that is also okay.
I don't know why people ask me. Yesterday I was asked the same question. Somebody asked me, they were reporting something to me and then they were very sad about it and they started crying. Then while she's crying, she gets up and she said, "Is it okay if I cry?" Of course, why should it not be okay?
You know you are crying and it's okay. Like
Why should you not cry? Yeah.
or
What do
you
you
don't
feel?
cry, don't be happy in between. Is there
Yeah.
anything like that? Okay, people don't cry and they are not happy also. Is there any state like that?
No. There are no rules. You be comfortable.
No.
If you're the crying type, cry. If you're the laughing type, laugh. If you're the type that neither cries nor
Deep
laughs.
inside, you should be comfortable. You know what you are doing.
No, you be yourself, no?
Yeah.
You want to dance, dance. You don't want to dance, don't dance. ये थोड़ी ना जबरदस्ती है कि मैं डांस कर रही हूँ अब तुम भी जान डांस करो अरे क्यों भाई तुमको डांस करना है करो.
Mhm.
Each one to his own. There is no eternal principles in this.
Yeah. Why I'm asking because as she was mentioning about the book launch yesterday, just as you said, I know the impermanence, I know the dukkha behind it. Like my grandson is born, and for some time I was there. But yesterday again, I remembered of him and I cried for that. But deep inside, I knew that this is my attachment which is troubling me. That's why I'm crying. So if I feel like, let me go for some time and come back. I was enjoying my crying also. That's why I asked.
Yes, why not? Life has ups and downs.
Yeah.
Your mind has ups and downs itself.
Yeah. It was mind only, which just went off and then again came back. Right.
And yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so can you see the dukkha dosha? Just see it. Can you see on ground reality? That is all that's important. As a jnani, you're only seeing ground reality. You know perfectly well that as you go up in life, people will be friends with you because you're going up. This is the nature of the world. These same people will not be with you later on. And that's fine too. You cannot hang on to anyone. But
Well,
you have to know who are the stable friends who are going to be with you regardless of whether you go up or down. They are not going up and down, they are where they are. You have to know what is the ground reality. You have to know in your own life what is permanent and what is passive. You must be able to laugh at the fact that now it's up, so this happens, and now it's down, so this happens. Get it. These are natural things, it will happen. You expect them to happen, and they do happen. And then you pat yourself on the back and say, "Oh, I was right." This is life. So when he says dukkha doshanu darshanam, he's talking about seeing it as it is. When we are going up, we think of it as a constant rise. When we are going down, we think of it as a constant down. That is why people go into depression and even commit suicide. I'm not talking about depression, the disease, but depression, the mental feeling. That I'm distinguishing between the two, because depression, the disease, is a chemical thing and therefore requires chemicals to be dealt with. The person may not be depressed, it's just the mental framework, the chemicals in that. But when we are very upset, when we are feeling very sorrowful and very sad, now there's a difference. It's not a disease, it's just the way we feel. That part is, you get it. Even though I'm crying now, I know in 10 minutes I'm going to be okay. Even though I'm excited now, I know in 10 minutes I'm going to be okay. I get it. So if you see the dukkha dosha, that means what? It doesn't mean everything. You know, some philosophers will say, oh, everything is so horrible, there's no point doing anything. It's not like that. It means that there is sorrow potential wherever there is joy. This is a fact of life. Whenever you bought a dress which is very pretty and you love it, what are your options here? Either the dress will get, you wear the dress to your first party, the host child will come running to you, filled with chocolate on the face, chocolate on the hands, and hug you and say, Auntie, I'm so happy to see you. Why did you take so long to come? And you're like, hey, Bhagwan, this is 10,000 rupees down the drain. Right? That's an option. Or you are sitting somewhere, somebody sits down, you didn't notice they sat on your dress, and when you got up, that dress tore. Happens, no? So you lose the dress. In other words, one way or the other, you lost the dress. Now, suppose you didn't lose the dress, then next time you want to wear it, you put on so much weight, you cannot wear it. Again, you lost the dress. Now, let's say nothing happens and the dress is fine and you are fine and all is gone on. 5 years later, when you open the cupboard and you look at that same dress, you'll say, nothing to wear. And if someone says, what about that dress? I'll go to Pehna now. So, what are your options now? When you're buying the dress, you have to know. Dukkha, dosha, anudarshana. So, should I not buy a dress? No, please buy it. Nobody's telling you don't buy the dress. I mean, nobody's telling you to buy it either. What you want to do is your personal view. But the fact of the matter is the fact. You say, oh, then I should not wear any clothes. No, please wear clothes for other people's sake. Wear clothes. You have to buy some dress or the other. So if you like this one, please buy it. But do not expect it to last with you. You say, शादी नहीं कर रहे हैं, ये dress है. That is called Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Dosha, Anudarshan. What is Mahesh says we have to. Mahesh, I got 2 more minutes. Indriyartheshu vairagyam. 2 more minutes. Mahesh has something to tell us. So we'll stop 5 minutes early. Indriyartheshu vairagyam. No raga, no interest, no desires for the objects or the senses. Now that you've understood the base, I'm sure you understand this. It doesn't mean that you have no interest in the sense objects. It only means that you have more interest in your goal. Suppose you want to eat a mango. and the mango is not interrupting your desire to reach the ideal, then you please eat the mango. What is the problem? Enjoy it, love it, thank God. For once, I've got something which I can do and it's not interrupting my path to my goal. What fun! Let's have the mango. But you have sufficient detachment from that mango that should it interrupt your goal, you will now refrain from it. So, dispassion towards the senses means that I find something else will gain precedence over it. Will gain precedence. That doesn't mean I don't touch it, I don't enjoy it, I have to keep away from it. Don't be silly. Enjoy life. But if Aditi's daughter goes swimming, so she may love like really nice parathas. But if she's about to go for a competition, how can she eat parathas, nice heavy paneer parathas, and go for a competition? She'll have to wait for the competition to get over and then eat whatever she wants. That ability of achievers to put aside temporarily whatever they would have liked to do for some higher purpose is called Indriyartheshu Vairagya. Okay? All right, so now we're on to Mahesh. Okay, so two things I have to do. One is tell you about what happened yesterday. So a merry time was had by all. For those who want to know what happened, that is there on YouTube. You can look at it. This is the book we released. All right, and also great fun, a lot of excitement. I hope you're all excited. Okay, so we released this book and we had announced a contest, but we did not announce the winners to that contest. So I hope the winners at least know that they have won it. One is Aditi Seth. So Aditi Seth, one book is due to you. I hope you will get it at some point or the other. Then Bhavna is here, so I can give the book to Bhavna. Bhavna. Yeah, come. Otherwise, I will they see you. Yeah, so Bhavna has got one hurdle. Okay. So Bhavna can be given her book, and Varun, I don't know who's Varun. Is Varun in class? I don't know. Is he a class student? So congratulations, Aditi and Bhavna. And Varun also, but I don't know Varun. Varun over here. So that's what happened. Yes. And Akhila and her team have done some fantastic stuff. They have launched a journal. Worked together and launched a journal. So they are going to tell you about it. You know, Vedanta Wisdom Journal, first one, launched today. Every day, if they launch something, I don't know who's going to read anything. They have to finish yesterday's book by today. Today, they have to finish the journal. Tomorrow, I don't know if they're launching anything else. But Akhila, congratulations, Akhila and Akhila's team for launching the journal. Please, everyone, subscribe to it, read it, enjoy it, give articles for it. And it is by the students, for the students. So we can all have, sharing of our reflections in that. So Mahesh, now up to you.
Yeah, thank you, Janki. So it's a bi-annual journal. So they have till July to read it. So need not rush. So we have released the first issue. I don't know if people have got the email and read the details about the journal. So this is an online journal, and I said it's bi-monthly. So the first issue is at the beginning, first month of the year in Jan, and it is an online journal. So you'll have to access it only via the website. So you can't download a PDF and read it. You have to do it from the website. And I will just now walk you through the steps that you need to take to access the journal. So the first thing you need to go is to go to the website, vedantawisdom.in. You can go to research select the Vedanta Wisdom Journal. So this is the home page of the journal. And as you can see, this is issue Jan 2024. And this is under latest articles tab. So you can see the various articles that are there in this issue. And you'll get a small snippet from the abstract if you want to read it, just to know whether you want to read the article or not. So when you first, you see there are two buttons here, login, register, and subscribe. So right now I've done neither. So it shows that I'm a guest. So in this situation, if you click on the editorial, you'll get the first page, okay, of the editorial. And if you try to read more, it'll say you have to subscribe. So this pop-up will come. The same thing goes for the other articles. So if I click this, another article, I'll see the abstract of the article along with the author, but I can't read more because it says I have to subscribe. So to do that, the first thing you need to do is you need to log in, register for the journal. So you have to create an account, and then use it. It's the same thing like the LMS. So you click on login, register, switch to register, and you can enter your name here. The email is important because you will get a notification on the email. So, oh, sorry, this is the user ID. So username. You can select the gender, mobile, age. So that's the profession that you have to enter. And then you click on register. So this takes you, okay, this is not supposed to happen now. What has happened? Okay, I'll click on register. I think this is a bit of a change. Okay, I think I'm sorry about this, but I think the email is already used. I have used so many test emails that I don't know which ones. Let me see if my personal one is.
It's okay, Mahesh. You don't have to worry. I'm sure everybody gets the general gist.
No, I just need to show you the steps. You have to do another step, which I wanted to show you. Yeah, okay. So this is fine. Now, when you'll get this page when you enter the correct email, and so you need to. This is an important. Please check your email and set your password before proceeding. So that's what you need to do before you proceed. So you can go to your email ID and you'll get this email. Thank you for registering for the journal. You click on that, and this is you'll get a link here, which is for confirming your for setting your password. So you can click on it, and you can set the password. I am going to keep it a very short password, just for test purposes. I would say you keep your strong password. I just say I'm confirming with a weak password. So this is I do a safe password. Okay. So now you're all set. And now you can go back to the login page. You can go back to the Vedanta Wisdom page. Okay, so I log in with my
Your username was MU, Mahesh.
Yeah,
What was
your
MU?
username was
Yes,
MU.
thanks a
The
lot.
password was
And what was
MTU.
my password? I forgot my password.
MTU.
Yeah, the
MTU.
password is
Okay,
MTU.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, great. So now I'm logged in and you can see it says, hello, Mahesh Ursekar. And now, if you see, I yet can't read the full article. So what I need to do is I need to subscribe. Okay, so I click on subscribe. I have two options. I have a one-time, I can purchase one journal if I want, and that's currently at 250, and or I can subscribe for an annual. We recommend annual, so you get access to two copies, two issues, the Jan issue and the July issue. So I click the annual, I can click on subscribe. Now you can enter your details here, your PAN card, and this is all dummy, so I'm going to just use whatever I had entered before. And I click on donate. I get the payment. Now I can pay with these three options, but I recommend you don't use credit card. You're having some problems with it. You can try net banking or UPI. UPI is definitely recommended. Okay, so I'll just you have to enter your UPI ID and you verify that, and you make the payment. Just I'll just go ahead and make the payment. So I made the payment on my phone and it should register here. Yeah, so the payment is successful. Okay, this was supposed to take you to the home page, but it's not. So sorry about this. I mean, too many glitches in this demo, but
It's all right, Mahesh. I'm sure most
Yeah.
of it will be intuitive. The
so
only thing
anyway,
is-
now, now you're logged in and you're subscribed. If you click on subscribe,
basically only two things to know, that you
Yeah.
have to log in and you have to subscribe. So there are two
Yeah.
steps. As you do it,
Yeah.
they will keep telling you what to do.
yeah.
It's very
Got
nice
it.
of you to explain everything and do all this, but I, I think anyone who doesn't figure it out can talk to Mahesh.
Yeah. Please call me. My number I'll share on the chat. And once you're logged in and subscribed, there seems to be a bug here. It's when you subscribe, I shouldn't be seeing this, though I have successfully made the payment. So I'll just talk to the developer and see what it was working fine yesterday. He made some changes this morning and it has broken it. So what I'll do is I'll share it on the WhatsApp groups once this is fixed, and I will try and make a demo recording with everything working, so it's all clear for you after that. But yeah, as Janki said, just log in and subscribe, and when you're subscribed, you can read all the articles. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoy the journal, and apologies. I'll do the needful on the WhatsApp group so you'll have the correct information.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mahesh. Thank you, Akhila, and the whole group for working so hard and coming out with the journal. And we will meet.